If you've just got yourself a KALITA Wave, I want to stop you from making these mistakes. Welcome back to About Coffee, where we talk about all different things to do with coffee, and today we're going to be running through a few mistakes that I want you to avoid with your KALITA Wave. So first of all, coffee. What coffee are you going to be using with your KALITA Wave? Well, one mistake that a lot of people do is buy pre-ground coffee or grind all their coffee in one go and store it in the fridge. This is something you definitely want to be avoiding, as it's much better to have freshly ground coffee for your KALITA Wave. So weigh out the amount of coffee that you're going to be using for your KALITA Wave, grind it there and then when you're going to be making that coffee. So the second of the mistakes that I definitely want you to avoid is using too hot a water. You should be aiming for your water to be somewhere between 88 and 93 degrees. Otherwise, when you pour it in, it's just going to burn that coffee and you won't have a nice ending cup of coffee. Now, if you've seen any of my recipes on this channel, you will know that I always preach this, and that is to wet your filter paper. A lot of people make the mistake of brewing their coffee before they've wet their filter paper. Now, by wetting your filter paper, what that's going to do is stopping any papery taste going into your coffee. So unless you really like the taste of paper, I would definitely wet your filter paper. Moving on to the next mistake that you want to avoid is having your coffee all over the place within your KALITA Wave. You want a nice, even, flat base before you start pouring on top of it. This will just help you have a really nice, evenly extracted coffee. And following on from that is how you pour your water. You want to be pouring your water nice and smoothly, not rushed and all in one spot. You want to be pouring it nice and smoothly in concentric circles around your coffee to make sure all your coffee grounds are saturated. One way to do this is to have a gooseneck kettle. So if you don't have a gooseneck kettle, it might be something worth investing in. And to add on to that mistake, you definitely want to make sure that you're pouring over the coffee. Now, I know that sounds a bit odd, but what a lot of people do is when they're pouring their water, it drips down the side of those papers because they keep hitting the edge and hitting the paper rather than the coffee itself. So make sure you're pouring over the top of your ground coffee. And the final mistake, which I have learned the hard way, unfortunately, is buying the right type of papers for your KALITA Wave. Now, there's two different sizes of KALITA Wave. There's the 155 and there's the 185. So you need to make sure that you're buying the right size filter paper for it. But not only that, I went ahead and just bought filter papers that said they would fit my KALITA Wave, but unfortunately when I wet my filter paper, it kind of all just mushed up and didn't really work for the KALITA Wave. So I went ahead and bought the official KALITA Wave papers and all my problems went. So something you might want to do is to buy the official filter papers rather than the knockoff brand. So there we have it, guys, a list of mistakes to avoid with your KALITA Wave. If you've just got a KALITA Wave, make sure you check out this channel, as we have loads of different recipes right here for you to try out. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes right here on About Coffee, and I'll see you in the next episode.